type of racket do you use and why? These are questions that you generally hear when you're playing paddle because there are so many different types of rackets. It's a jungle. I thought I would today share with you the evolution of my rackets that I went through. In front of me, I have here 4 rackets in the order that I bought them. These are only personal preferences, obviously, like I can't vouch for any of these rackets. They might fit me better than they will fit you. Before I get into the video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm still trying to reach 1,000 before the end of the year, so please help me with that. And also, if you have suggestions on things you would like to see on the channel, please let me know. Let's get into the video. Sick transition. Okay, so first off is the Vertex 02 Power. This was the first racket I bought when I felt that I really wanted to get into paddle. This was one of the more popular rackets that season. This is probably 2 or 3 years ago right now. This is a really nice racket, honestly. The only thing I remember is that when I played with it, since I didn't have like the proper technique at the beginning, there was some balls that would fly a little off and stuff like that because your sweet spot is a little smaller here. It's a little more top heavy, obviously, and I wouldn't say it's too hard. It's pretty solid, but not annoyingly hard, you know. Overall, I think this is a really good racket. I was actually thinking about trying it out now. I haven't played with it since I moved on. I haven't even touched it. I'm thinking I'm gonna try it again. I will speak on the reason to why I will try it again, because it's not as fun as you might think. It's not only that I want to try it, I kind of have to. I bit off a little more than I could chew when I bought this racket, though it served me very well. It got, as you can see here maybe, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got some battle scars. It worked out for a very long time and I really liked it. And I think if I were to buy the Vertex 3 right now, the newer model, that would feel even better than this did, because now I have like actual technique on volleys and overheads. So I think I could get way more out of this racket because it's a premium racket. It's a good racket. I can't wait to try it again, honestly, to see how it feels. Maybe this is the racket I'm supposed to play with. Who knows? All right, moving on to the next one. This was a racket that I bought secondhand just before I moved to Madrid, and the second I touched the ball with the racket, I fell in love, honestly. The second racket is Starvice Raptor Pro. Stupa's racket from 1 season ago, and this was just an amazing racket in my opinion. It's a little top heavy for a round racket. So you got a lot of power installed if you need it. It's a little softer and I felt like I had so much touch with it, you know. I just love the control of it. In defense, you could just get everything out from the glass, very easy to dig, and you still have, as I said, a lot of power since the top heaviness of the racket. And you got these, I don't know if you can see it from there, but you got these little marks in it, which makes your volleys and overheads generate a little more spin. And the reason I stopped playing with this racket is because it got broken somewhere around here. I think it is up here, if you can see that. I don't know. There is a little crack up here, and yeah, something happened with it. When I came to Madrid, I just felt like everything sounded weird and I didn't get any sensation when hitting the ball. Eventually, Jorge Martinez told me that after like hitting twice on the racket, he was like, that racket is dead. It might be broken, it might not be broken, but anyway, it's dead. I didn't have much of a choice then. I wanted to play with this when I was in Spain. I think I had it for a couple of months, and after I got those news that it was like super fragile, I didn't really want to buy another one, you know, because what if I broke that 2 months later? I had to buy another one, you know. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll take a break from this racket and this style. They have a new version this year, obviously, and I have not tried that yet, but I would like to try. Starby, hook me up. In general, I would say this is a superb racket for any level of the game. Like beginners, because you have a lot of control, intermediate, because you have a lot of control and power, up to obviously professional level, because it's an all-round racket. You have pretty much everything you need in it. So this is a racket I would absolutely recommend. I would recommend the bull paddle one as well, honestly, but you need to have played a little bit to use this, and this you could just get from the get-go. This is a little cheaper as well. Obviously this isn't available now, but the newer version of this, and the same with this. I would recommend this over this if you are a beginner or just starting to learn the game, but if not, both of them equally good rackets, both premium rackets. So after the Raptor broke, I had to come up with a new racket. And when I was in Madrid, I met Axel Holm, who is a professional Swedish paddle player, and he was kind enough to give me a good deal on this racket. The Vidar of Båstad is called. When I tried it the first times in Madrid, I really liked it because I was used to playing with this one then, that was broken, and the sensation was just completely gone. So I went over to try his racket, and since I came from a broken racket to a non-broken racket, the difference was huge. I was a little fast on deciding that I were to buy this racket because I should have tried a couple more, but I got a good deal from him and I kind of liked it at the time. It's not that heavy. It has a diamond shape, obviously, so the sweet spot is moved up a little bit, but it's not super heavy, I wouldn't say. It's got a long grip, as you can see here, compared to the others next to each other. You know, there's like 2 centimeters more of a grip. And I think this is more adapted to tennis players who goes to paddle, because you have the two-handed backhand. It has a lot of power in it, which I can't really get out of it because I'm lacking power myself. This is a good racket. It is a good racket, but not for me. It is not adapted to my playstyle at all, because I don't feel like I have the touch to do the drop shots and like dejadas, the stop volleys. A personal preference, honestly, because a lot of people play with it and a lot of people are good playing with it. So it's probably me that has a problem with it, but very sad news. My favorite racket of all time, the Knox AT2 limited edition, broke. If you look very closely up here, I'm gonna show you closer as well. This was so unfortunate. This happened my first paddle tournament in Sweden on the warm-up for the second game that we lost tiebreak to tiebreak. Maybe this had something to do with it. I don't know. I'm not saying it did. I'm not saying it didn't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is so unfortunate. This is all around one of the best rackets I've ever tried. It's got the round, so I'm following a little bit from the old shape here. It's not as round as the Starlight. I don't know if you can see the difference, but when I look at it from over here, I can tell that this is a little more to the drop shape, and this is like pure round. It's not a lot that differs them, but it has a harder core. It has the 18K carbon. I don't know. I just love this racket. Like, I feel like I can defend anything with it. It just sits so good in my hand. The balance here, when I do like this, I just feel like I'm one with the racket. Okay, the only downside is that it is super expensive. I think now if you buy a new limited edition, it will probably set you back 450 euros. And it's a little hefty to buy a new one straight away. I had this one for 5 months. It was really sad that it broke, and it's just this little scratch. Like, this side that does not have the damage, this side is fine. It doesn't affect this side. It just affects the side that the damage is on. The more I play with it, the worse it will just get. It is better that I just let it be, see if I can maybe repair it. I know in Spain a lot of companies repair rackets, but in Sweden I haven't really heard about it. If you are Swedish and you know a company that does it, please let me know, because I'm looking for a company to do it. Because if they can repair it and I can still play with it, I'm just gonna go back to it. But in the meantime, I'm using the Vidar, or as I said before, I'm gonna try to play with a bull paddle a little. And also, it is not too long to my birthday. I have wished myself a new racket from the family, you know. Really? It's expensive. I know that. It is something that you really use a lot and it's really worth the money in my opinion. It's like to buy a racket that you're comfortable with instead of always feeling a little off. I would say it's worth a lot of money. If you play the sport a lot, I mean, if you play once a week or once every 2 weeks, Jesus, just buy any racket, honestly. Just buy a racket that is easy to play with and if you're comfortable with it. But I see a lot of people online just buying a bunch of rackets to try them out, and I just feel like I don't think the racket is where you should put so much focus on, because if you have the right technique you could do anything with any racket, you know. And this might sound, oh no, you say this because you have been working out and training with very good people. No, I still had that opinion before as well. The only reason I bought like a premium racket is because I felt like, okay, this is a sport I want to keep doing. This is a sport that I am happy to invest my money in. So I bought a really good racket and I said to myself, it's better for you to buy a good racket and learn to play with that and then adapt after that racket than to just try a bunch of rackets and try to feel what is working, what is not working. Because in the end, I didn't know how to play. That's the fact. So a racket wouldn't help me with that, but having a good premium racket, at least you can't blame the racket itself, you know? I can't say that, no, this is a bad racket, that's why I play bad. No, I can't do that. That's all me. If I play bad, that's all me.
No shit.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you liked the little editorial content I had for you. If not, let me know. There's a lot of things I want you to let me know, you know. This was great. Next week, hopefully I'll be able to release a little more paddle content. So stay tuned for that. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Oavsett vad som kommer med på internet så kommer det här vara med. You fat fuck.